Jamie Goatley. I own and run the Guitar Store in Southampton. It's an independent music store based in Commercial Road. So I've been here for 33 years. The shop has been going in total about 40 years. I bought it 33 years ago along with a business partner, and we bought it off of two guys called Mick and Mike Williams and Mick Travis. Mike sadly died about 4 years ago. Mick Williams is still about. He's a great player, still plays locally quite often. They started the shop in St Mary Street, and we bought it when it was in St Mary Street, and we moved it up to Commercial Road. It would be referred to in the old days as a rock and roll shop. So, you know, we sell electric guitars, acoustic, bass. We do a little bit of classical. Classical is more sort of in the industry of these shops, which again used to be referred to as mums and dad shops. And they're still about, and they still classical guitars, recorders, and sheet music and that sort of thing. We're not that sort of shop. We are more the sort of rock and roll sort of side of it. If you went back 30 years ago, there's nothing unique about it. There used to be lots of independent guitar stores, you know, that did things like lessons and repairs and part exchanges, and they bought guitars and sold guitars. But with the advent of the internet, a lot of those stores have gone by the wayside. So we're becoming more unique because the others are dying out, you know. But you know, so much business is done online, and so our uniqueness has come about because we're a bit of a dying breed, and we're still sort of hanging in there just about. So that online, you just don't get any advice. You're presented with a series of pictures, series of information, reviews that are generally not unbiased. They're sometimes tainted. There are some good independent reviewers out there, but a lot of them are allied to stores which sell product. So as soon as you're selling product, those reviews can't necessarily be taken completely as independent. And you just don't get the right advice online. You know, you can search online. You can search for guitars, but you can't really truly browse guitars because Google will only show you things based on your search criteria or your history. You know, to actually come into a store and truly browse and look at things that you may not even know exist. So, you know, if you don't know that they exist, you don't know to put it in Google to search for it. So, you know, quite often we have guitars, and they're not necessarily always expensive or vintage, but people will come in and see a guitar or a pedal and go, wow, I've never seen one of those before. You go, no, because you didn't know it existed. So looking online, you'll never be shown that, because unless you put it in, it won't show you. I love the vibe of the shop. You know, people come in. Generally, it's a really nice and relaxed industry to work in. It's a people's hobby. It's what they love. So they come in, and generally, you know, we have a great relationship with all our customers. You know, and generally they come in, and they either want to buy a new guitar, they want advice on what to buy next, and we don't so much sell people guitars. We're not, you know, they're not salesmen. None of us are salespeople. What we do, we listen to what people want to achieve, and then we make suggestions as to the best way that can be achieved, you know, by pedals or guitars or amplifiers. So it's no one's works on a commission, no one's under any pressure to sell anything. We'd much rather sell the right thing to somebody rather than just sell anything to somebody. More often than not, people will think they know what they want. They've done all their research online, they've been in these little bubbles, and they come up with a conclusion. They're like, right, this is the guitar. And then quite often they'll come in the store with a very specific, you know, right, I want to try this guitar. I've done this research and I want to try this guitar. And you put it in their hands, and literally within 30 seconds they're like, no, this isn't not what I want at all. This isn't, you know. And then that's when we start that conversation, and we say, well, what are you trying to achieve? You know, and they might say, well, you know that sound that the guy gets on, you know, on the Foo Fighters. And you go, oh yeah, well, you want one of these, and we'll give them another guitar. That's it. And you only get that from going into a store, speaking to good staff that have good experience with the product and good product knowledge.